This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Imagine a world where when the Supreme Court ruled in a radical way, like the overturning of Roe v. Wade, like the many instances of this 6-3 Supreme Court usurping constitutional rights for millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of Americans. Imagine if Democrats were to just ignore that ruling. Imagine the outcry, the rage, the trembling, the gnashing of teeth and wailing that would come from Republicans. And maybe rightly so. But because the Republican Party is a party of hypocrisy and a party of disregard for decency, they're doing that very thing, defying the United States Supreme Court when it ruled that Alabama had to redraw congressional districts to make them not unfair. Get a load of this headline from NBC News. Alabama GOP refuses to draw second black district despite Supreme Court order. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Republican of California, and Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican of Alabama, have been calling state legislatures about the map, which could affect control of Congress. This has huge implications when Congress, both the Senate and the House, although this won't affect the Senate, are so tight. The majority in the House of Representatives that Republicans hold right now is wildly tiny. That's largely why they've ignored the impropriety and crimes and embarrassment that is George Santos. Alabama Republicans rejected calls to draw a second majority black congressional district this week, instead creating maps that Democrats and advocates say completely ignore a recent ruling from the United States Supreme Court. A federal court ordered the state to redraw its congressional map last year to include 2 districts where black voters make up voting age majorities, or something quite close to it. The Supreme Court affirmed the ruling this year, prompting the legislature to call a special session to redraw the map this week. But on Friday, the Republican-controlled legislature is poised to pass a map with just 1 majority black seat. They're currently considering 2 drafts. The House map includes a second district that is 42% black, while the Senate map includes a district that is 38% black. Lawmakers are expected to meet Friday in conference committee to select one of those maps or a compromise. Neither would give black voters a real shot at winning congressional seats, Democrats and advocates said in interviews and floor debates. You see, though, this isn't just about Democrats and advocates, people who are activists in this space. There are legitimate experts on districting, on gerrymandering, on fairness and representation who say that they are violating what the Supreme Court ordered. Republicans have insisted the map would give black voters an opportunity to elect the representatives of their choice as required by the courts, but Democrats, voting rights experts, and the groups that sued the original maps disagree. They found the candidate preferred by black voters would win these experts found that the candidate preferred by black voters would win 4 times out of 15 under the House plan, while black voters could elect their preferred candidate just once under the Senate plan. And that win was narrow, deriving from a remarkable upset. Former Senator Doug Jones' historic upset over Roy Moore, a Republican accused of sexual misconduct with teenagers. And then the final paragraph here is a quote. The through line in both plans is obviously they're prioritizing keeping the Gulf Coast together. The exact same thing that the Supreme Court said wasn't more important than delivering a serious, effective opportunity for African American voters. This coming on the heels of Tommy Tuberville defending white nationalism week after week after week after week. Well, they just sound like Americans to me. This is Alabama defying the United States Supreme Court while luxuriating in their fascist rulings. Every once in a while, there's a ruling that comes down with some semblance of sanity, and those are the ones that the Republicans are going to disagree with. And not only disagree with, they're going to defy. Again, I will ask the question that I began with. What if Democrats were to do this? What if Democrats were to say, what if Joe Biden were to say, you know what, nah, I'm not going to listen to the Supreme Court. We're just going to forgive all of the student loan debt that they ruled against. What would Republicans do? What would Ted Cruz do? He would be apoplectic. But that doesn't matter because Republicans can't win if they're not cheating. So cheating is the order of the day, and defying historic, venerated institutions like the Supreme Court that they claim to honor and respect, it doesn't matter either. Power for power's sake. That's all that matters to Republicans. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. If you're from Alabama, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Tell the others what the hell is going on in your state. You can follow me on social media. Tell me how wrong I am there. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Everywhere. Threads, everywhere there's social media. Facebook too, actually. If you want to help support my work, produce my work, click the join button below. You can become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can click that super thanks button to give immediate support, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.